Everyone thinks Charlotte's growth is slowing down, but six suburbs just showed the exact opposite in their sales data. Today, I'm breaking down the areas where the price correction meets surging buyer demand. Trust me, that's the pattern that signals expansion, not weakness. I've been selling real estate here for close to 12 years, and these are some of the clearest growth signals I have seen. The last suburb on this list has the strongest numbers and the shortest window. Get in early or watch it close. Matthews, the steady performance with surging sales. Most people drive through and think it's just another quiet suburb. Nothing flashy, right? But look at what's happening under the surface. From 2010 to 2024, this place grew by 18% in population. Not explosive compared to some areas, but check this out. The median sales price hit $535,000 this year. That's up 7% since last year. Homes are selling in 49 days, and sellers, they're getting 98.7% of their asking price. Translation, buyers aren't getting discounts here. Now, sales volume jumped 66.7% compared to last year. Way more buyers are choosing Matthews, and they're paying near full price to get in. When you see prices climb while sales surge at the same time, that's not luck. That's real momentum. You're about 11 minutes southeast of uptown Charlotte. You get that suburban feel with quiet streets and good parks, but you're still close enough to the city for work. The town hosts Matthews Alive every Labor Day weekend. Over 100,000 people show up. There are greenways, a solid community center. Families move here and stay. Here's what makes Matthews so different. Parts of the town fall under Union County Public Schools. Union County ranked number 1 among North Carolina's 12 largest districts overall with proficiency and graduation rates for 2022 and 2023 school year. Other parts of Charlotte, Mecklenburg schools. So you need to check the specific address to see what side of town you're on. But the Union County connection, that's why families who care about education keep coming back to Matthews. The population sits at around 32,700 right now. It's not tiny. Matthews has been expanding steadily for years without those crazy boom and bust swings. You know what that tells me? Healthy growth, not speculation. I had clients last year who almost skipped looking at Matthews because it seemed too quiet. We toured 3 homes. They bought one in 42 days, paid $520,000. Today, that same floor plan is listed for $565,000. They got in before the surge. Look, if you want a suburb where prices are rising, sales are speeding up, and the schools back it all up, Matthews gives you that foundation. The school quality creates a floor under property values. That protects your money. Matthews is steady and strong. But the next suburb I'm about to show you, it grew even faster. And somehow almost nobody's talking about it. Mint Hill, the quiet riser nobody is talking about. Mint Hill doesn't get much attention. No lake, no college town vibe, no trendy brewery district, just quiet streets, bigger lots, and families who want more space. But check the growth numbers. From 2010 to 2025, Mint Hill's population jumped 28%. That's higher than Matthews, way higher. The population sits at 29,400 currently. The median sales price is $505,000, up 3.1% since last year. Sales volume dipped about 10%, and homes are taking about 61 days to sell. Some people see those numbers and think, the market's cooling off. I see something different. Buyers are still paying 98% of the asking price, so sellers aren't desperate. Buyers aren't backing out. The market's not weak, it's just settling after years of all the crazy price jumps. That's healthy. Now, if affordability matters to you, wait until you see Pineville, which has some lower median prices and even better transit access than what you get here. Mint Hill sits about 15 minutes southeast of uptown Charlotte. The feel is more suburban, almost rural in certain spots. You get bigger lots here, way bigger than what you would find closer to the city. If you want space for your kids to run around or room for a workshop, it gives you that without forcing you an hour away from the city of Charlotte. The town does Mint Hill Madness every year to celebrate its funding. It's the kind of place where neighbors know each other. You're not anonymous, but you're still close to Charlotte's job centers and everything the city offers. So why is Mint Hill growing so fast? Larger lots, quieter pace, easy access to Charlotte, and the price is lower than the lake communities up north. You get more land for your money. That 3.1% price increase tells me the market's still moving forward, just at a pace people can actually keep up with. If you want space without paying a premium, Mint Hill makes sense. But if affordability is your number one priority and you need transit access, we're heading to Pineville. So lower prices, light rail stations, totally different story. Right now, let's go north. But before we continue, if we haven't met yet, I'm Mark Weinberg, and I help families navigate Charlotte's suburbs every single day, and have been doing so for close to 12 years. If you're Wayne, Matthews, Mint Hill, or any of these other areas we're covering, and you would like some help finding your perfect spot there, my contact information is in the description below. Huntersville, the Lake Norman getaway with a price correction. This one's interesting because everyone's reacting to the wrong thing. Prices dropped 5.3% from last year. The median sales price is $585,000 now. And a lot of people see that drop and are panicking. Oh no, the market's crashing in Huntersville. Wrong. Sales volume jumped 27.9%. Way more homes are selling, so prices dipped, but buyers are flooding back in. That's not weakness, that's a correction, creating opportunity. Huntersville grew by 37.1% from 2010 to 2025. The population sits around 68,456 right now. This part of the massive North Mecklenburg boom everyone in Charlotte in real estate has been watching for years. What's happened is that Huntersville saw crazy appreciation the past few years. Prices ran up extremely fast, too fast. Now the market's resetting to a level buyers can actually afford, and they're taking advantage of it. That's why sales are surging while prices are dropping. When I see that type of a pattern, I know market stabilization before the next climb. Huntersville sits about 14 miles north of uptown Charlotte, right along Lake Norman. You get lake life and city access at the same time. You want to go boating on Saturday? Lake Norman is right there. Need to commute to Charlotte Monday morning? Straight shot down I-77. Broker Village is one of the big draws. It's a mixed-use area with shops and restaurants, entertainment, going through a massive renovation. You can walk to dinner, grab coffee. It's not just suburban sprawl with strip malls. The Yes for MEC transportation referendum passed back in November 2025. That's $19.4 billion plan over 30 years funding major infrastructure projects. Roads, transit, growth, support. Local leaders aren't waiting for growth to overwhelm the area. They're planning ahead, and that matters. So why does this correction in Huntersville matter for 2026? Population growth has been strong for over a decade. The price drop paired with rising sales tells me the market is finding balance. Once it stabilizes, prices start climbing again. Buyers who get in during the correction phase win. Yeah, the median price is higher than Matthews or Mint Hill, but you're paying for Lake Norman access, the water, the lifestyle. If that's what you want, this dip won't last. Up next, we're talking about a suburb where connectivity beats coastline. Lower price, light rail station, totally different opportunity. Pineville, the affordability entry point with best connectivity. So here's a suburb nobody's talking about, Pineville. The median sales price is $410,000. That's the lowest on the entire list, down 7.9% from last year. Sales volume dropped about 27%. Homes are sitting for around 53 days. Most people look at those numbers and move on. I look at those numbers and see a window of opportunity. Pineville's population jumped 44% from 2010 to 2025. That's the highest growth rate we have seen so far. The town has about 10,780 residents right now. People aren't accidentally ending up here. They're choosing Pineville because it works. Lower price, great connectivity, close to Charlotte. Pineville sits southwest of the city. It's known as the first town in Mecklenburg County. Carolina Place Mall is also here. That's 1.2 million square foot shopping center, one of the largest retail hubs in North Carolina. Shopping, dining, entertainment, all right here. But what makes Pineville different is the transit access. The Lynx Blue Line light rail terminus is right here at Pineville city limits, just north of 485 station. The rail runs all the way to North UNC Charlotte. You can live in Pineville and commute to uptown without sitting on I-77 traffic. That's huge. I had clients move here 2 years ago from New York. They wanted affordability but needed the transit because they didn't want to drive everywhere. Pineville checked both boxes. Bought a 3-bedroom for $398,000. Today, that home would sell around $425,000, maybe higher once the market picks back up. The town's also working on downtown revitalization, Johnson Road realignment, Greenway expansion. Plans for the new restaurants and retail in the historic core. Local leaders are thinking long term. They don't want Pineville to be another pass-through suburb with nothing but strip malls. So why does this matter for 2026? Both prices and sales drop. That difference from Huntersville, where prices drop but sales surge. Pineville ran too hot and now it's cooling off. The market's settling, but that 44% growth rate from 2010 to 2025 tells me demand is real. People want to live here. The price correction is going to be temporarily. Once the Charlotte market picks back up again and buyer demand comes back, the people who bought during this cooler phase are set up for strong appreciation. And you're paying way less than Huntersville, Davidson, or any of the lake communities up north. Your money goes further here. Now, if walkability matters to you more than affordability, there's another lake town we need to talk about. The college town vibe, historic charm, totally different. Davidson, the college town with lake access and historic charm. Walk to a coffee shop, boat on the lake by noon, back in Charlotte for dinner. Davidson is the one, all the places where you can do all three in the same day. Davidson College sits right in the middle of town. It's ranked number 6 among the nation's best liberal arts colleges. That college entity shapes everything here. Concerts, art events, a downtown that's actually walkable, but it's not loud or chaotic. It's calm, small town feel with things happening. And you're right on Lake Norman. So you get the water, you get the college vibe, and you're still close enough to Charlotte that commuting doesn't wreck your day. That combination doesn't exist in many places. The median sales price is $563,000 right now, down 5.5% from last year, but sales volume has jumped 17.1%. Homes are moving in around 62 days, which is 4 days faster than last year. Same story as Huntersville. Prices drop, but more buyers are stepping in. They see the value. I showed a home in Davidson last spring to a couple relocating from Virginia. They wanted walkability. She didn't want to drive everywhere. He wanted lake access for his kayak. I told them Davidson will check both boxes, but it's not cheap. we toured 3 homes. They passed on the first 2. The third was listed for $575,000. They offered $558,000. Seller accepted. We closed in 55 days. 6 months later, prices dropped even more, but they're not upset. They got the lifestyle they wanted, and once this correction finishes, limited supply will push prices back up. That's the thing about Davidson. The lake sits on one side, historical downtown sits on the other side. There's not much room to build, so supply stays tight. And when demand picks back up, prices will follow. The town uses smart growth policies to protect the historic character while welcoming new residents. From base codes, careful planning, they're not letting Davidson turn into another generic suburb with chain restaurants and big box stores. You can walk downtown, grab a coffee, and run into a neighbor. Small town comfort, but Charlotte's job centers are a few drive away when you need them. Demand stayed strong here for years. Prices are lower currently. Sales, though, are rising. Buyers are getting in now while the window's open. But if schools are your number one priority, the next suburb we're covering as the number 1 ranked district in the entire state. And it's just because of way more affordability. Waxhaw, the biggest correction with top-rated schools. This is the one I told you about at the beginning. Union County Public Schools ranked number 1 in the entire state for overall proficiency, graduation rate, and multiple major state tests for the 2024-2025 school year. Best schools, period. And the median sales price just dropped 13.4% to $485,000. That's lower than Mint Hill, lower than Huntersville, way lower than Davidson. Windows like this don't stay open. Waxhaw more than doubled in population from 2010 to 2020, and it got 108.6% growth. That's massive. Union County as a whole added 152,000 residents from 2020 to 2025, bringing the total population to close to 270,000 families, which are flooding the area. But right now, the market is cooling off. Sales volume has dipped 7.4%. Homes are sitting around 84 days compared to 45 days last year. Prices dropped 13.4%. Waxhaw ran too hot during the boom years. Prices climbed fast. Now the market's resetting to a more realistic level. Sellers are waiting longer for offers. Buyers have negotiating power that they haven't had in years past. Here's what makes Waxhaw different from every other suburb on our list. The downtown area has nationally recognized historic district. Antique shops, local restaurants, real character. There's a historic pedestrian bridge over the railroad tracks that was built in 1897 and converted to a pedestrian use in 1941. The restored Waxhaw Liberty Stable now houses local shops. This isn't a cookie-cutter suburb trying to look charming. It's actually charming itself. Outside downtown, you'll see equestrian culture, open land, room to breathe, but you also get new construction. Builders are putting up homes in master planned neighborhoods to meet the demand from families like you moving here. Local leaders are investing in infrastructure to try to keep up with all this growth. The roads, the schools, parks, so you have historic downtown walkability and brand new homes in the same town. That mix is hard to find. School district is why most families choose Waxhaw. Same top-ranked Union County system that covers parts of Matthews. So if education is your priority, this is where you land. The long run of growth, migration into Union County, and those schools all point to lasting demand. But prices have dropped. That creates opportunity. So there you have it. 6 suburbs, 6 different opportunities, and 2026 is shaping up to be the year where early movers are going to win. The data is clear. The windows are open, but they won't stay that way once the crowd figures it out. If you're serious about getting information about these Charlotte suburbs before prices shift in 2026, don't wait. Shoot me an email right now at mark@carolinasky.com. Tell me which suburb caught your attention, what your timeline looks like, and I'll show you exactly what's available and how to position your offer before the correction window closes. The best deals go to the buyers who move first, not the ones who wait to see what happens. Now, here's the thing. Everything I just showed you about these 6 suburbs, it only makes sense if you understand what's happening to Charlotte's overall market right now, because there's an inventory shock happening that nobody saw coming, and it's completely changing the game for 2026. I break down whether Charlotte's market is actually crashing or balancing out. The numbers will flip how you think about timing your move. Watch it right now, because if you're planning to buy or sell in 2026, you need to see this first. Until next time, hope to show you around town.